Welcome to the Dougie Wuggie Story Hour. Today's story is called Dougie Wuggie Runs Away from School. Not something I recommend at all. In fact, you have to promise me you'll never do what Dougie Wuggie did. Do you promise me?
Yeah!
Kids at home listening, you promise you'll never do what Dougie Wuggie did?
Yeah! We're at home.
We're at home. Okay. So this is a true story. I was in first grade. I went to a school called Lomont, which was just very close to my house. And I could just walk to school and walk home. It was literally like I didn't have to cross any busy streets or anything. And I would sometimes walk to school with my older brother, walk home with my older brother. But I really wanted to walk home for lunch because a lot of the kids, and this was back, when I was a kid, a long time ago, some of the kids, if they had a parent at home or like a grandma or a nanny or a babysitter, you could, if you had permission from your parents, you could walk home, eat lunch, and then go back to school. And I really wanted to go home because my favorite TV show was on during lunchtime. It was called Mighty Mouse. And it was about this little mouse who looked like Superman, but it was basically Mighty Mouse with muscles. I mean, Mickey Mouse with muscles. And he was always beating up the cats and like putting them in jail if they were the robbers and stuff. And I loved, it was like my favorite cartoon. Like, what's your favorite cartoon? Anybody have a favorite that they like?
Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls. Yeah.
Grizzly and the Lemons. Grizzly and the Lemons. Yeah.
My son used to like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a lot.
Same with my dad.
Yeah. So, anyway, back to our story. I really loved Mighty Mouse, and I always wanted to watch Mighty Mouse. And I kept asking my mom, I was like, Mom, can I please go home and eat lunch at home and watch Mighty Mouse? She's like, no, there's no one at home. You're too young to be home by yourself. I was like, please. She's like, no. I kept bugging her. Mom, please. I know how to walk home. It's safe. She's like, no, stop asking me. Stop bugging me. You know when you just like bug your parents about something sometimes and they. And I kept bugging her about it. And she kept saying, no, stop asking me. And then one day I came up with a really bad plan. I decided I was going to sneak off from school. Bad idea, right?
Bad idea.
So you know what I did?
What?
I was on the playground. We ate lunch outside, and I said to the yard teacher, I said, Mrs. Smith or whatever her name was, I need to go to the bathroom. She's like, okay, go ahead. So I go inside. I go to the bathroom, but instead of going back to the playground, I sneak out the back door of the school, and I walk home.
Doug, can I go to the bathroom?
Yes.
Are you gonna?
Don't run away from school now. So I walk home. Everything was fine. My mom and dad left the back door open. I walk in. I go into the living room. I turn on Mighty Mouse. And I'm like, and it was like my favorite episode. And I was like, yeah, Mighty Mouse, get those cats. And the cats were like the bank robbers or something. I was like, get those cats. And then it was 12:30, and it was time to go back to school. But just as I was getting up to leave, the guy on the TV said, don't go anywhere, kids. We have another episode of Mighty Mouse coming up right after this commercial. And I'm like, another episode of Mighty Mouse. All right. And I started watching the next episode, and I didn't really know how to read a clock. And I thought I had enough time to get back. But actually, the bell rang at school, And all the kids came back into the classroom except me because I was home watching Mighty Mouse. And the teacher's like, has anyone seen Doug? And they're like, my friend Brad, he was like, well, he went to the bathroom a while ago and he never came back. And the teacher was like, Brad, could you go check if Doug's is still in the bathroom? So Brad goes to the bathroom. Nope, he's not in there. And so the teacher calls the office. You know how teachers have a phone in their room?
Yeah.
She calls the office. She goes, hi, Doug Cole is missing from first grade. Can you make an announcement? And so the secretary is like, Doug Cole, please return to your classroom. Your teacher is looking for you. And of course, I didn't hear it. I'm home watching Mighty Mouse and cheering on Mighty Mouse to beat up the bad cats. And then the secretary calls my mom.
Who's the secretary?
At work.
It's the person who works at the office.
The office worker. And she goes, Mrs. Cole, this is the secretary from school. Your son, Doug, is missing. My mom's like, what? Yeah, he went to the bathroom and he never came back. And we've announced for him. And did anyone pick him up, like you or your husband? She goes, no, I'm at work. My husband's at work. And does he have permission to walk home? She's like, no, he doesn't. And then my mom said, I bet he walked home. My mom said, I will go check. I work very close to the school. And so my mom zooms home. She comes in the driveway. She comes in the front door. And there I am in the living room watching Mighty Mouse. And she's like, Doug, what are you doing? And I'm like, watching Mighty Mouse? And she's like, oh my goodness. They've been looking for you. They were ready to call the police. They were so worried about you. And I started crying. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was going to walk back. And she's like, and my mom calls the school and says, yeah, he was home. He walked home to watch TV. And then the principal, I guess, got on the phone and said, Mrs. Cole, I need to speak to Doug when he returns. And my mom's like, oh, you are in trouble. The principal, you need to go talk to the principal. And I'm like, oh, no. I was scared of the principal. He was scary to me. And then, yeah, and then we walked back to school, and I had to sit in the principal's office, and he's like, why did you run away from school? I said, I wanted to watch Mighty Mouse. And he said, look, my kids like that show too, but they do not run away from school. We were worried about you. We almost called the police. And I started crying. He said, you can never, ever do that again. You promise? I said, I promise. He said, look at me, Doug. Look at me. Promise me you will never do that again. I said, I will never do it again. I'm really sorry. And he said, okay, go back to your classroom. And I go back to the classroom. And they're like, dude, where were you, man? I was like, I was home watching Mighty Mouse. And they're like, which episode? I said, where he beats up the cats and puts them in jail. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's a good one. But I never did that again. And that is the true story of naughty Dougie Wuggie running away from school. And that's it for today, folks. Till next time, Dougie Wuggie over and out. Bye-bye. And you know what the lesson from this story is? Do not run away from school. Bye-bye.